Hi everybody, today is a very exciting video for me. I am going to be setting up my Sterling Ink Common Planner for my work planner for the year of 2023. Now, this is not a bullet journal setup per se, because this is a planner that does have quite a bit of structure at the front end of it, but I will be using it bullet journal style, at least in some ways, for my daily pages for work. And I do plan to do some kinds of, not traditional, but traditional for me bullet journal style setups in the daily pages every month to kind of delineate the start and the end of each month, because I'm not going to be using this every single day, even if I do a page a day, because I only try to work for 5 days a week. I will have extra pages in here, but I didn't really know how to title this video because it's not really a bullet journal setup, but it's also going to be kind of a mixture of things. Anyway, I guess we'll just keep going this year and we'll see how it goes. Let's talk about what I'm using today. This is the Sterling Ink B6 Full Year Common Planner. It's dated for 2023. Now, I know she sold out of these in a hot minute, but I did hear she's coming out with an undated version soon, so stay tuned for that. Editing Cindy here. There is actually a pre-order going on right now at the Sterling Ink website, going on until January 3rd, 2023. So if you're seeing this before January 3rd, you can head over to sterlingink.com and order their undated planners from the pre-order. I'm not affiliated with them. I just noticed this when I was pulling links together for this video, so I wanted to make sure you knew if you missed out on it in the first place. I looked at this and I was like, oh, holy shit. Like, I may not love this kind of Tomoe River paper. However, I can live with it to have all of this in one book for the whole year, because I have been struggling to figure out a good work planner method. So if you want to see my full flip through and review of this, I will link it down below. The other thing I want to add when it comes to this is that this size is B6. It's quite a bit smaller than anything I've used for this purpose before. When I've bullet journaled, for the most part, I was in an A5 notebook, and then I moved to a B5 notebook, so it's even much bigger than this. So this little guy, I'm thinking I don't need as much room. I will be tending to go for thinner tipped pens to make it a little easier to write in this, and we'll talk about what pens I'm using in just a second. I also have a clear cover with like a flower on it from Lauren Phelps Designs coming soon. I ordered it on Black Friday, so we'll see about, I heard you have to like kind of heat it up to make sure it fits well, because this is a little chunkier than most of the books she made them for, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm excited to start using this. Another note, the planning system I use for work is my HB90 system that Sarah Cannon here on YouTube is Heart Breathings. It's her planning system. It's a quarterly planning system. There will be some version of a monthly setup of this every single month, but there will also be quarterly setups of it, because I'm going to have to adapt this to use with that system. I'm really excited about it though, and I'll link my video reviewing that whole system in the description as well. So that'll give you kind of an idea, but if you're hearing me reference things from the HB90 system, that's why. So for pens, I heard that the Unipen fine line pigment pens work really well on this paper, so I ordered a few of those since I have been interested in these pens anyway. So I have a few different sizes. I also have the Unipen oil-based marking pens to use. I've got some clear Post-it notes. I've got some stickers, some vinyl stickers. We'll talk about those in a second. So all of the pens, the black fine liner pens I'm using are Unipen. And then I've got some clean colored Zig dot singles here that match the colors of the Post-its that I'm going to be using on my Kanban board, because at the time I'm filming this, I still have not set my Kanban board up, but I'm going to be using, I switched over to some pastel Post-it notes, and P.S. if you ever set up a Post-it note Kanban board, I 10 out of 10 recommend Post-it brand Post-its. They stick better for the whole quarter than anything else, but I'm using these three colors. The pink, I will be using the baby pink single. For the yellow, I will be using the butter single, and for this tealy green, I will be using the pale turquoise. And each color is going to be associated with a goal. And the reason I decided to stick with the colors of my Post-its is because I have been opening the Cricut Paper Co. Advent Calendar, and I really love a lot of the stickers that are in it, and some of them are decorative in a way that I don't see myself using in my main planner, but I could totally see using in this. And so I've got just some different ones here, some of the date covers, some of these, just a bunch of different, most of these stickers are all from the Cricut Paper Co. Advent. These will likely be the stickers I use in this setup, although I do have a theme that I'm going to be using for the rest of the year on the monthlies, and that is going to be sea creatures voted on by my patrons, which I actually think these colors kind of resonate for like a year-long sea creature kind of situation. So various stickers. I've got this sticker pocket as well, and then I've got a couple of the coordinating washi tapes that came with the Advent calendar. Along with those Cricut Paper Co. items, I have a few of these hollow Simply Gilded washi tapes that I think will look nice with this Cricut Paper Co. in case I need skinnier washi tape. And then on top of all of that, I have these tabs that I'm going to be using. This pack I got from Jet Pens, and it came with 4 sets of these 1 through 12 tabs. And then this pack I got from Aura Estelle when I ordered their planner, their B6, to see if I was going to compare to this. Some of these clear white Post-it notes as well, in case I need them. I've got my favorite Tombow correction tape. I've got my favorite washi tape cutting tool, which is just an angled palette knife from Michaels. And I've got all my, mod liners and everything else off to the side in case I need to dig through and grab something else. But that's enough talking about supplies. Let's get into the actual setup here. So the first thing I want to do is place this jelly looking situation here on the front cover. And the reason I want to do this is because, let me see if I get this okay, it's a little crooked, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. The reason I want to do this is both so I can keep any Cricut Paper Co. stickers or other of these small sheets. They fit right in here. So in case I need to keep any stickers, like if I use a monthly sticker or something, to keep them in here so they're easy to find when I'm working in this particular planner. But also, I don't anticipate I'm going to be sticking all of those tabs on here right now, especially when it comes to the daily pages and setups, because I'm not there yet. So I want to make sure that I don't lose them, which is entirely possible because when I put shit away in my office, I can't find it. So anyway, so this is crooked. Fucking, of course it is. But let's just get going from there. So we'll open it up, and it's this first page, and I just want to put my name in it and the date, and that it's my work planner, just because, for the sake, I don't usually put all my contact information in because I don't take my planners anywhere for the most part. And I just want to make sure that it has my name. It's a way to kind of break the seal, right? And it says work. Okay, there's my opening. There we go. And how is this pen working? Seems to be working okay so far. Next is these 2 pages. So I decided what I'm going to do is on this page, I'm going to put a key because it has been a while and I really want to keep sort of the spirit of bullet journaling in this planner. And it's been a while since I have really used a key at all. So, because I have really just not been bullet journaling. As I am heavy-handed as fuck, this might actually be a good idea for me to use. I have a pencil board and I need to slide like another planner underneath here or something to kind of bulk this up because this is going to be hard, man. This is going to be hard. Let's see. My Moxie Life, is it too chunky for this? It might be too chunky for this. Yeah, it's too chunky. I need something a little less chunky. Ooh, maybe the box. Maybe the inside box. Yeah, there you go. Pro tip, if you get the Sterling Ink Common Planner, the box works well to level out the early pages. Put this down. I feel like such a hot mess. I've been making planner videos for 11 million years. I have bullet journaled for a large part of those 11 million years, and yet somehow I still manage to feel like an utter noob when it comes to this shit. And I think in the spirit of using some of these stickers, I'm going to take one of these transparent bits here. And I am going to, oh fuck, okay, I can't do this with one hand. Use this for the header of the key. Yeah, sexy. Okay, uni pen, pigment. Let's see how this goes. Well, isn't that sexy? Okay. I'm going to just freeball this. I'm going to put a little decorative sticker on this page, I think. But this key is basically the Ryder Carroll key from the original bullet journal system, with an exception. The big exception being that this little hyphen here is usually the symbol for note, but I actually will put that through. I should add the dot there. I will usually put that through a dot if I have started a task but not completed it. That's how I've always just done it, right? Like it's begun, but it's not done at the end of the day. And then, so for note, I usually just use an arrow to point to it. The other thing is I didn't put the appointment in here, the appointment thing, because this is just for work and I don't usually have work related appointments, but the circle for the event can stand for live streams and calls. And I also didn't put I put the little one side, fucking greater than or less than, I never know what the fucking name is for that symbol, but I usually put that in here for if I migrate something to another day. However, there's one going the other direction for tasks scheduled. I don't usually use that. But most of these are things I do usually use. I did want to just define them in here to remind me that that's kind of what I was going for. And I think I'm going to take a couple of these stickers and just slap them on the bottom for a little bit of decoration. I think that's cute. This is not a very artistic situation here because I'm just not fucking feeling that right now. Let's be real. Okay, so for this one, this will be the sort of decorative side. For this one, it is definitely going to be a little bit more specific. And that is because I do want a record at the end of the year of how many days I worked, how many days I didn't work. I'm going to use the same dot markers that I'm planning to use for maybe I should add that here as well. Or I'll just do it in quarter 1. But anyway, so for my goals, the pink is going to be content-related goals. The yellow is going to be art-related goals. And the tealy green is going to be time tracking related goals in order to get this first quarter is going to be very information gathering because I'm starting dialysis. So I really want to kind of have an idea of what things are going to look like before I try to really schedule with my time, which is a big piece of the HB90 system. So because of that, in this order is how I'm going to track my days. So the pink is going to be if I worked a full day. So anything over 2 hours, I'm going to consider a full day. Okay, maybe not a full day, but if I worked more than 2 hours, which I will consider a day where I have worked more, because there are some days where I just do a couple things for work and I'm not really worried about that. And so anything less than 2 hours is going to be with the yellow color. And if I don't work at all, it's going to be the teal color. So I'm going to just write that in here and we will start tracking this once the new year starts. And I'll just bop them on each day. Rock 'em, sock 'em, bop 'em. Where is my pen? There it is. In the spirit of more pizzazz, I'm going to use this cream mild liner to just highlight each month. I recognize I have to give this a second to dry because this paper is a little smooth. ASMR that, here we go. Smooth. Use it as a fan. Pencil boards. Good for more than just softening the stroke. This is turning dirty. Okay. But I will be real with you. Like, as much as I wasn't necessarily looking forward to using this paper, this is really cute so far. So, okay, it looks like I was gonna do the smear test and just be like, is this a good idea? Maybe not. So then this blank spread, I sat and I pondered this. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do with this. I was like, for the sake of fucking what? But you know what? I decided that at the very most, this could be a wins page for me to just write down any wins that are work related that I'm proud of. And at the very least, I'll just slap on some of these like torn paper strips. So what I'm going to do is just kind of slap these puppies on. That was scary because I have no idea. I mean, these are removable stickers, but I know that this paper is a special little snowflake. And then maybe we'll put a couple of these. These things kind of could be like bubbles, right? Bubbles. Pretty simple. But then what I'm going to do is just write wins across the middle here. And then that will hopefully get me to what this situation is. And I may not ever, when we go back to this later, I may not have ever added to it. And that's okay. That's okay, my G. And yes, I am freeballing this. And yes, I'm not a fan of all my spacing, but whatever. I'm not worried about it. Starting dialysis this year. I know I keep saying that, but like, what a way to keep shit in perspective when it comes to your lettering. Fucking spacing, right? So there is a wins spread. I'm not doing an index because I'm going to use these tabs. So that is in and of itself cool. This spread, at first I was like, am I going to use this the way that it was meant to be used? Because it's meant to be a goal breakdown spread. When you have a blank column, and then you have someday, 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. And then you have 6 rows. But I'm not going to use it for that. That doesn't really suit my purposes with the HB90 system. And so instead what I'm going to use this for is a tracker for a full year for various stats that I'd like to keep an eye on. So I'm going to divide each of these rows into 2. So that'll be 12 total rows. And then I am going to cover these up, and then each of these columns is going to be a different situation. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run this washi tape from the Cricut Paper Co. Advent across the top to cover up. Is it too thick for what I want to do up here? Yeah, it's probably too thick. Maybe that's not going to work. Maybe the washi tape won't work. What about these guys? Are these guys too thick? Let me see here. You know, they're a little thick, but I don't think that that's going to be a problem. Because what I was thinking about doing was running washi tape across this top here and writing above it. But this goal breakdown is not in the same, spot. So I'm going to use these guys, I think. I guess the first thing I'm going to do is take the skinny washi tapes, and I am going to divide each of these. Originally, I was just going to draw a pencil line. However, there's 7 rows of squares in each of these rows, and I would have to draw my line through the middle of those squares, and I have a confidence in my ability to freehand a straight line. My confidence is not that strong, so I'm going to try this instead. This last year, in my bullet journal, my unsuccessful bullet journal, all I was doing was using marker and fine liner. And since that was not a successful year for me, let's be superstitious and add washi tape, shall we? Now, I've seen other people use this spread for other things. I might be wrong. I think Marimundo, who was the one who had ordering this planner, was what got me to order it in the first place, to check it out when she was talking about the pre-order, and I just happened to catch it because she was talking about it. And Mari is my longtime bullet journal kind of muse, so because her shit is so fucking functional. It's just, she also will decorate, but decorating is never the point for her, and I just love that. But the point I'm making is that she, I think, was dividing this up for meal planning or something. I don't remember what it was. I saw her taking this spread and adapting it. But it was a while ago, and I have kidney brain, so don't trust me on anything I say right now. Listen to me, but don't listen to me. Where the hell is the rest of... There it is. Okay. I do like how that looks, though. That is really pretty. But we'll just see if my vision comes to fruition when I put these other strips down, because they are pretty chunky compared to these washi tapes. The other thing that I was thinking about is that, I guess I could have used the washi tape for every single month, but I'm not going to do that. There's already thicker lines there, and that would just be way more washi tape than I'd want to see every day. It would be where's there's minimalist, there's maximalist, and then there's fucking over-the-topalist, and that's not where I want to be right now. I want to be I definitely want to be in the maximalist, because I have got... You're not gonna see fucking beige on beige in this bullet journal hybrid situation I'm doing. There may be times I do beige on beige, but I like color. I like beige too. I think beige is pretty, but I do like color. And I'm on a no-buy this year. So I'm going to be using up a lot of my shit, or at least that's the goal, is I want to be using up a lot of my shit. And so I need opportunities to use up my shit. And this, for example, is a delightful opportunity to use washi. However, it's also a delightful opportunity to overdo it with washi for my particular tastes. So we have to avoid that. And I am rambling because I am worried I'm going to fuck this up. It seems to be going okay. I also will add, and anybody who's watched me for any amount of time knows this, that I am not afraid. I tend to thrive on routine. So I don't like to change things for the sake of change. I am not somebody you're going to see skipping around from planner to planner usually, because unless it really doesn't feel like it's working for me, because that stresses me out. I'm a creature of habit, and maintaining my habits is one of the things that keeps me from getting anxious. However, I am not afraid to change things up if I feel like shit is just not copacetic. So I don't even know what that actually means. Is that a real word? I feel like I got that from some fucking 80s movie or something, like maybe one where like there's like a stoner guy. Like I feel like it's a stoner guy thing to say, and I have no reason to actually think that, except that I don't know where I heard that before, but I do have been using it a lot lately, and it's one of those things where I'm not really sure where it came from. Also, fun fact, my husband has now started referring to things as spicy. Not spicy foods, but like spicy situations. I'm like, did you get that from me? He's like, yeah. But he's the one who makes fun of me for like using the same word over and over again until it's dead, like situation. So, whatever. I love him. It's our 10-year wedding anniversary this year, and we're both still alive, allegedly. Cannot get this shit down straight for the life of me, and it's not like this isn't fucking graph paper. I just hope I use this spread because this is more effort than I usually put into things. Just take a second here and write on these little puppies. Here's my right marker. This one. The various categories that I want to put on here. These are too wide. I just wasted almost a whole sheet of these, but I don't like it. They are too wide. I'm going to go with my original plan and just cover them all up. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to use this blue that's very similar to the rest of this blue, but I'm going to cover this goal breakdown up with whiteout. There we go. Now I've solved the problem. Fuck. Don't pay any attention to me living my best hot mess lifestyle over here. Except that sucked. And it pulled up the whiteout. Whoops. I'm knocking everything over. Come on, Tumble, whiteout. Don't do me wrong. Sometimes you gotta clear the fucking decks with this shit. Close enough. Whatever. I'm gonna start with this side. This will be my lucky side. And this all is just because I overshot my load and kind of stuck it down in the wrong spot. Okay. So I wanted something different for the header. I didn't want to use the same one. And this way, because it's blank, I can write on it. Okay, let's try this again. Shall we? I should have been using this fucking shit. God damn it. I just keep telling myself that while I'm going to do little bits of setup on this every month, all of this opening shit is for the whole year. Well, that's the oil-based pen, and it's bleeding through. That's okay. At least the non-oil-based pen looks the same. I am a hot goddamn mess. But this has the month initials over on the other side. And I think what I'm going to do is kick off my tabbing journey with this page, because this will definitely be one that I'm going to want to reference. So that is not what I want. These are stickers. Okay, these are what I want. Tab stickers. Okay, here we go. So it gives you months, and then there's also a year, month, and miscellaneous. And I'm going to use this year tab to mark, oh hi Mark. And I'm going to be doing the months down this side, I think. So this will be a good spot to start it up here. I feel like this is for people with smaller fingers than I have. Okay, these tabs are harder to use than I thought they would be. That's okay though. Does it stick out? Yes. Okay, so that's all we need. Do I need to like... I feel like I need to get my little... I have a bone folder for like creasing paper. I feel like I need to get that out to crease this, but whatever. Okay, so there we go. My yearly stats. That gets me through the year stuff that I wanted to put in. Now, we're going to be doing... this is not just going to be the year at a glance. I'm also doing my quarterly setup for HB90 here. And then I will just repeat this if that's interested. If you think I should do a quarterly setup as well as my monthly setups, just let me know in the comments below. If you want daily videos of this, like if you want me to show you how I'm using it, again, just let me know. So here is the quarterly priorities page, right? And so you get one of these per quarter, and they're all here in the front. And this right here, this spread was the one that made me think this is what I want to use, because it suits the HB90 system so very well. This side will be for my quarterly goals. So I'm going to cover up the months, and I'm going to put my 3 quarterly goals here, as well as any other like miscellaneous things that I have coming up. And then on this side, I went back and forth with it because I also have a monthly spread. I'm tracking, originally I thought maybe I'd track what days I worked, but I'm going to do that here in the front. I don't want to do that in more than one spot because that kind of seems to be silly. So the other thing I thought about was tracking Pomodoro and how I did for each task or whatever, but I think I'm going to be doing that potentially on the daily. What I'm going to do this quarter, and it could change because I'm only setting up this quarter, is since this is an information gathering quarter, what I want to do is write down the number of task blocks, which are half an hour time frames. So if you're using the Pomodoro technique, which is what I'm going to try this quarter for work, where you work 25 on, 5 minutes off, then what I want to do is track how many of those half-hour time blocks I use per day. Now, in upcoming quarters, ideally what I want to do with this spread is divide it down the center on each month and put what I estimated I would work each day and then what I actually worked each day and see the difference between the two. But since I'm only gathering information this quarter, I didn't actually predict anything. I want to just put what actually gets worked. Odin is currently screaming at my front door. So what I decided to do was put the goals down. Now these don't match. I don't have a yellow sticker to match the yellow goal. That's okay. It doesn't bother me all that much because I know what the colors are. And I'm not color coordinating this particular spread. Like I'm just going to write down Pomodoros. So maybe what I'll do here is, for this one at least, cover, because this would be where I would put, I think this top box would be where I would put total estimated time blocks for the month. And then at the bottom would be total estimated time blocks, total actual time blocks for the month. But I'm not doing estimated time blocks so for this quarter. So instead, I'm going to make a note right under here that dialysis training is happening in this month, because it is. I'm not going to write that here because I'll write if it keeps going for the whole month or if it ends in that month once we get there. But that way, when I look back and I remember, I'll remember that this month, part of the reason it looks this way is because of dialysis training. And then what I'll do is I'll take that same blue tape from before and I'm going to run it right here and write total. Oops, I want the thicker one. I need to remember the light gray pens are the oil-based. Total actual time. Yeah, I think that'll work. What I want to put over on this side is my goals. Ow! My goals, each of my goals. And then at the top, I just want to write down, again, this might change, but what I think I want to write is just a bit about what my kind of focus for this quarter is. Now, normally the goals that Sarah wants you to set in the HB90 system, she wants number-based goals, like so things you can't control. Like you can put in the work, but you can't control the outcome. I'm not doing that this quarter purely because this quarter is, like I said, it's an information gathering quarter. As a matter of fact, my focus is to gather information about how I will work in the new year, dialysis, everything else. So for my first goal, my content-related goal, I put continue to post content to YouTube and Patreon in order to continually and gradually grow my audience. For number 2, which is usually an art-related, my art practice, my Etsy shop, my freelance work, my art practice has really taken a fucking hit this last 6 months because of going into kidney failure. So complete the Art Within, which is a course about like really establishing like your art practice and flow state, and reestablish my creative practice. And then for goal number 3, which is usually a time or like personal kind of based goal, I am going to use and track the Pomodoro technique. I can't talk. Use and track the Pomodoro technique to more accurately understand how I work. And then on this side that we've already talked about, I'm just going to write up here. There we go. Pomodoro and task block tracking. Now, the other thing I want to do is take some of these little tabs, these little quarterly tabs. Well, they're not quarterly, but they're numbered. And I want to number each of these quarter spreads so that they're easy to come back to whenever I need to find them. And now Odin is in the closet. Oh, man's in the closet. I'm just going to do all 4 of the quarters on this side for right now, just to make it easy to flip to them. I'm very crappy at laying these down straight. It's okay. They're usable. That's all that matters, right? And now he is trying to eat my stickers. Odin, those are not snacks. Now, I was wondering, should I mark, oh, hi, Mark, each of the weeks? I don't really want to do that. I think I can just use a bookmark or something for each of the weeks. But what I do want to put along the top are the months in here. So that's the other piece of setup I'm going to do. And I'm going to do these along the top of the I thought about doing the weeks of the quarter, but I think I might just get like a clip or something. I know that you can get from Jet Pens like a clip that works for this Tomo River paper as opposed to like a standard clip. I feel like I didn't spread this washi tape out enough because this paper seems to be really like snagging on it. Oh well, fucking whatever. And now, Cindy taking 800 years to lay down all of these little tabs. I still have to figure out exactly how I want to handle using these monthly spreads, because the monthly setup I plan to do with like doodles and shit is going to be something that is more geared in the daily pages rather than on the monthly pages. And so I'm trying to decide. One thing I was thinking of doing was tracking the number of Pomodoros on the month based on which of my two goals. Like how much time did I spend on content, how much time did I spend on art, and how much, I guess, admin. That could be like a fourth color, like maybe the darker blue. Because I do admin work that's really not included in either of my specific goals. So, I don't know. Think about it. If you're familiar with the HB90 system, and you're kind of understanding what I mean about what I want to be tracking, or even if you're not, you're just like, oh, that sounds like a good idea, then let me know in the comments if you have any concept of what, because the monthly spreads in most planners I'm not great at using. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to reuse them in my personal planner for the year, because what I was doing this past year was really like copying over everything from my Google Calendar to get kind of my head around the month, but honestly, it's not really that necessary for me. So what I'm thinking is using that for my meal planning. Or using that for my dialysis hours. That could be something I should write in here too for context, is like how many Pomodoros did I do that day, and then how many dialysis hours did I have. That might actually be the best idea, because then I get because what I really, especially for this particular quarter, what I really want is the context of where's my time going, how am I using it, so I can more accurately predict how much time I'm going to need next year or next quarter. When I start planning out projects for next quarter, I can be more accurate, and because that's a big chunk of the HB90 system is when you, at the beginning of the workshop, after you do like the vision board and stuff like that, you really want to as accurately as possible, try and estimate your time so that you can make a reasonable amount of like projects for that quarter. And I had gotten better at it. I still wasn't great, but I had gotten better at it. And then now that dialysis is coming, it's kind of smacked me upside my fool head, and I'm like, I'm just kidding, I don't know shit. So there are those tabs. And so then these ones with the months are going to go down the side once I start doing my monthly setups. And I didn't put one for this first December because I'm not really using it. I guess the last thing I want to do is just officially christen this page back here my pen test page, because that's what it is my pen test page. So we're going to officially slap one of these Cricut Paper Co stickers down. eventually slap one of these Cricut Paper Co stickers down. And notice I'm not being super lettery or super doodly in this. This is my work planner, and I need it to function. I don't need it necessarily to be all fancified, you know? So, yeah. Okay, so that's done. And so here we go. Let's do a quick fucking balls. I think it's this one. This washi tape, I think, is the one that's being shitty. So hold please. I'm gonna see if I can fix this. Did I fix it? Maybe. Potentially not. Okay, so let's do a quick flip through. First and foremost, I'm gonna take these tabs because I still am wondering if I'm gonna use them for my weeks of the quarter or not. I haven't decided yet. What I could do is use them to start each week in the dailies. These guys, and then I want to throw in these tabs as well. Is this going to fit? I think this should fit. Yeah. So I'll have those set and ready. Oh, God damn it. Slide straight. There we go. So I have those set and ready for when I am going to start working in this. But I see why this paper is appealing. There is a very like used quality about it that is nice. Anyway, so this is my setup so far. So tune in next week for I'll be putting up videos for the rest of this month, but next week will be my monthly setup of this as well as my monthly goal setting for my personal. So if you're interested in those, make sure to subscribe. And if you're interested in anything else, fucking stick around. I got shit all over this channel. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around for this. I am really curious to see how this goes. And in the meantime, my guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, leave me any tips for this kind of planner or any ideas. And tell me about what you're using in the new year in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, friends, peace.